Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. All right. So, you know what they say work hard, but don't make hard work out of it. And if you find the work that's like play, that's fantastic. So, I work hard, but I pretend it's play. So, thanks for giving me an opportunity to share my playfulness with you. Or another way of saying it, how do we find the balance between the transcendent and the immanent? Mm-hmm. That which is embodied in form and that which transcends our ability to even know what the ultimate being of being is all about. All right, let's start off with our poem. That's the way I like to do Mondays. This is from Goethe, Until One is Committed. Until one is committed, there's hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there's one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. That the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance which no one could have dreamed would have come their way. Whatever you can do, or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. So commit yourself. In yoga, that means sadhana. You have a series of spiritual practices that you don't abandon. All right, so August 19th, Monday, welcome here. Reminding all my friends out there who are working on their feng shui and clutter stuff, if you're tired and lethargic, right, you don't develop a lifestyle where you have energy and know how to regenerate yourself, because life is exhausting in some ways. That causes stagnant energy to stack up, and then makes you even more tired and more lethargic. That's why you got to get rid of the clog, congested, or in yoga we would say the tightness of the muscles, the lack of joint space. You got to open up. All right, so for my journaling friends out there, what's the biggest fear you're facing right now? Is there anything in your life that your fear is crippling you, that's stopping you from living your dream? What is your dream? So if you want to be honest and let me know what fear is functioning, I'd be glad to discuss it with you and tell you my own. All right, so my yoga teacher says, first, just relax. He would say, don't clench your brain the way you clench your teeth. Just relax. It's as if you want the skull, which has suture lines in it. So the little joints, let the sutures open up. Let your skull relax so it doesn't compress your brain. It means you got to even release like the hair follicles, the skin on the top of your scalp, your face, your neck, your shoulders and stuff like that, so that you're not perceiving the sensations through a filter of tension. All right. Once you start this process of relaxing, the first thing you'll understand is this old idea that the oak is in the acorn already. It's not like the old Adlerian, you take your deficiency and then you compensate your inferiority into something to show how superior you are. No, no. Listen to what you tell yourself. The stories, the creation stories that we tell ourselves. Then you got to be like an artist based on the story. The artist uses trauma of life, the wounds of life, like initiation incisions, cuts that they give you. But that's the stuff of your character. Reviewing your life and extrapolating from it the wisdom. Now, I've been talking this last couple of days about Erik Erikson's idea of the stages of life. And when you get to the stage of adolescence, where fidelity and loyalty becomes really, really important to you, from 13 to 19, when you're asking the questions, who am I and what can I be? It's where the first appearance of sexual identity starts happening, where you affiliate yourself with political or religious groups. It's the major transition from childhood to adulthood, and we're still in dependency, so it's a very, very difficult way to navigate between the person who you are to become and the person that society expects you to become. And although there's a synthesis, supposedly, of all the earlier stages that you bring with you the corresponding virtues if you've worked through them, and then there's the anticipation of what the future stage is going to be that you're still growing into it, often in the face of a hostile world or a dangerous world. And there are many biosocial forces at work within your family, your peer group, your society, your historical moment. And if those forces force the teenager to acquiesce to the rulings of society, then if it's too insistent, it effectively shuts down the person from their own ability to forecast for themselves and discover something new. And as I said, fidelity is in this stage is to learn how to sustain your loyalty, what you pledge yourself for, in spite of the contradictions that usually turn up as you open up into relationship and then the different kinds of dynamics that teenagers have to face with smoking, drinking, driving, sexuality, college career, and so forth. So look back on your own teenage years and see, did you get supported for discovering, or did you toe the line and cut off yourself, trying to be what everybody else told you you're supposed to be? Nonetheless, when you get to the spiritual stage where like you're not letting that influence you and you're finding your own way, as Ram Dass would say, listen more, manipulate less. Just lay back, let other people do a lot of talking and explaining. And if you do that, you'll understand life's unbearable compassion for the suffering that it elicits in you. Otherwise, you just have passion, or your own desires are leading you forward. But when you have compassion and you see the way the world is, it breaks your heart, and you feel the wheel and woe of other people as if it's your own, because you experience that unity in that moment. All right, and so I like to always talk about the archetypes. I've been affected by Jung that way, the idea that there are portraits of instincts, and they are deep in us. They're the organs of the pre-rational psyche. Before consciousness develops self-reflection to see what it's doing, you realize that your individual life is just a ripple on the collective ocean. And I suggest that you take these ideas seriously, because if you distort them and you're not in contact with them, as the old people would say, you're in peril to lose your soul, because you're not being empowered by these deeper influences within yourself. And of course, they all have distorted and shadow aspects. So sometimes people are afraid to work with their own power, because if you're not clear and ignorance and aggression are leading you, then its expression can be one that doesn't serve you and actually causes harm to yourself and other people. So finally, to get through the day, I'm always talking about how do we use the power of positive thinking? What is it about our thought, everything being plastic to our thought, and that the truth of this is true not because we want it to be. True is true because it's true, and not because we make it so. So, as the old teaching says, be ye there transformed by the renewing of your mind. What does that mean? By looking at again, thinking again, choosing thoughts that lift you up, that serve you, and sustaining them. So that's why they talk about expansion of consciousness comes through perspiration and inspiration. You got to do the work. They're the parents of true activity. As I said at the beginning, work hard at this, but don't make hard work out of it. And if you can find the thing that you love, it'll be play. So spend no time justifying any negative thought. That's time ill spent. Instead, realize how astonishing life can be if you're willing to align yourself with good thinking, good acting, good companions. And then it's amazing how people don't feel good all the time, or more of the time, I should say. All the time never exists, but more of the time, by how many choices we have available to us. Make them good ones. Peace be with you.